Another common type of task 1 is to describe the steps in a process or a flowchart. You're given a diagram which illustrates the stages required for making something. Now this could be anything. For example, you may have to describe the stages required for making furniture, for making bricks, or even jam. I can hear some of you saying, I don't know the first thing about making bricks. But don't worry. All the information you need is supplied on the task paper in note form, and all you need to do is to arrange the information in paragraphs using full sentences and linking words. So let's look at describing flowcharts together. Look at this flowchart here. For this, we must describe the stages in the manufacture of potato crisps, beginning at the stage of the raw potatoes, following through until they're washed, peeled, fried, packed, and finally delivered for sale. As with any task 1, we must begin with an introduction. There must be an elephant sentence which summarizes the information, and then in the main body we must describe each stage in more detail. Here are a few notes to keep in mind when describing a process. Remember to use sequencing words such as these here to signal each step in the procedure. For example, first of all, at the next stage, next, finally, after that. All of these which you can use to begin each new paragraph or each new step in the procedure. Another thing we should do is to use passive voice, because we're not interested really in who does the action. We're interested in the actual action itself. So look at this one. At the first stage, the product is developed and designed. So we use passive voice. It's more formal and it focuses on the action. Another example, after that, the product is painted or stained. Of course, you should also remember not to use short forms. This goes for any part of the IELTS writing, task 1 or task 2. Remember, IELTS is a formal academic exam, so you should use more formal style. Not e.g., but for example, and not slashes or dashes. This could be, you could use instead either or. So let's look at this flowchart now. It illustrates the stages required for making bricks. So we read the title. The diagram illustrates the process that is used to manufacture bricks for the building industry. We must summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Okay, so looking at the diagram, it begins with the digger, the roller, the bricks. They're dried, packed, and then delivered. We must put all of these words which are in note form into sentences, and most of them should be in the passive voice because, as we said, we're not interested in who performs the action. We're only interested in the action. Let's look at the model answer for this. So we begin with an introduction. The flowchart illustrates how bricks are made. Okay? And then we go on to the elephant sentence. The first thing to note is that there are 6 main stages required for the production of bricks from the raw material until it is delivered to the construction site. And now for the main body, and you can see each step is separated into paragraphs, separate paragraphs. At the first stage, a digger extracts clay from the ground and transfers it to a rolling metal grid, which separates the unwanted material. Sand and water are added and mixed together to create a smooth mixture, which is either poured into molds or cut into brick shapes with a wire cutter. Subsequently, the moist bricks are dried in an oven for 1 to 2 days. So we're up to this stage here where the moist bricks are dried in an oven. Notice the linking words for each stage and the use of passive voice. Next, the dried bricks are baked in a kiln at a moderate temperature from 200 degrees Celsius to 980 degrees Celsius. Then the temperature is increased from 870 degrees Celsius to 1300 degrees Celsius. You see, we have put in all these details. Even though you might think they're minor, they are important. For the examiner to put them on the page, that means you must take note of them. The bricks are then left to cool for 2 to 3 days before being delivered to the construction site for use in constructing buildings. And the conclusion, these are the steps required for the production of bricks for the building industry. So that's how we describe a flow chart. You can see how it's all arranged into paragraphs. It uses linking words. There's an introduction, an elephant sentence, main body, and of course the conclusion. And you can see how we have not left any details out from the flow chart. So practice this. There's some more practice material in the ebook or online.